If you want to sound natural in Portuguese, one of the biggest secrets is mastering syllable stress. Stick with me and I will show you how, even before you know the meaning of the words. Once you read Portuguese with ease, the door really opens. And from there, the sky is the limit in your learning journey. Stick with me because one of the biggest keys to sounding natural in Portuguese is mastering stressed syllables. This is especially important in European Portuguese, sometimes called Continental Portuguese. Let's dive right in with a sentence I pulled from a news magazine to be current. Don't worry about the meaning yet. The exercise is simply to read it correctly. Vocabulary will come later. Once you're able to read the words correctly, you can learn faster. So, the practice sentence is this: Revolução Energética em curso. Inscreva-se e venha debater o futuro da energia. Now, notice where the stress is in each word. Revolução Energética em curso. Inscreva-se e venha debater o futuro da energia. So here, in revolução, the accent on the last syllable makes it an oxytone word, meaning the stress falls on the final syllable. That's not normal, so we need an accent, in this case a tilde. Otherwise, it would have been revolução, but it's revolução. Okay, the next word is energética, energética. Now, energética, the accent is on the third syllable from last. Normally, Portuguese words are stressed on the one before last syllable, the penultimate syllable. Energética is a proparoxytone word. And proparoxytone words are not normal. The normal words are the paroxytones. So we need to put an accent on the e, energética. Otherwise, we would read energética. Now, words like curso, inscreva-se, venha, futuro, and energia, they don't have accent marks. Why? Because they are paroxytones. The accent falls on the penultimate syllable. Curso, it's the first syllable, but it's the penultimate syllable as well. Inscreva-se, venha, futuro, energia. Now, here's a subtle point about the word inscreva-se. That little se at the end doesn't change the stress syllable count. The stress is still on the penultimate syllable of inscreva. Why? Because se is a clitic pronoun. It has meaning, but it leans on the verb and doesn't carry stress in itself. A clitic pronoun is a grammatically independent unit that is phonologically dependent on the neighboring word, meaning it has its own meaning but cannot stand alone and must lean on the host word for pronunciation. So, inscreva-se remains a paroxytone word with the stress right where it belongs, on the penultimate syllable. Mastering stress is more than a rule. It's a rhythm that makes Portuguese sing. Once you hear it, the language opens up and every word becomes a step closer to sounding natural. All right, great. Shall we do another example? Yes? So, here's another example. Já é conhecida a música que vai representar Portugal na Eurovisão Júnior. Já é conhecida a música que vai representar Portugal na Eurovisão Júnior. So let's break this down. Conhecida. Well, this word carries the default stress on the penultimate syllable. Música. This is a proparoxytone. Stress is on the third from last syllable. So here we need the graphical accent. Otherwise it would be musica instead of música. Next, vai. Just one syllable, so it's an oxytone word, stressed on the last syllable. But vai is a diphthong, two vowels in a single syllable. The I here acts as a glide. So the stress falls on the first vowel, the A. If we wanted to stress I instead, we would write vai with an acute accent on I. Other examples of diphthongs include mais, sai, ai, eu, ui, fui. Now let's see representar. Representar. No accent needed here. It's an oxytone because it ends in a consonant R. Remember from last time, words ending in I, U, L, R, Z, or IM don't need graphical accents. And next we have Portugal. In English we say Portugal. In Portuguese we say Portugal. This is also an oxytone ending in L. And the last two words are Eurovisão, Eurovisão, and Júnior, Júnior. They both have an acute accent, show us exactly where to place the stress. Nothing to declare here. Okay, and that's it for this session, my friend. Please review these examples, then try an exercise on your own. A good practice is to go online, say Google News in Portuguese, search for Google Notícias, Portugal, and once there, read the headlines using your new stress powers. I'll see you next time, or in Portuguese, até à próxima vez. Thank you.